Good morning, everybody. This is Dude with the Food here. I hope you all are doing very well. And I'm just going to go ahead and enjoy my favorite part of the day, drinking some freshly brewed coffee. And ow, that coffee was really hot. I just got it out of the thing, but you ever have those feelings too where you just drink that first sip and it just spreads all over your body? That's the best part of the coffee. But anyways, I'm going to go ahead and give you guys another egg tutorial. I'm going to show you guys today how you guys can cook some Silky scrambled eggs. These are kind of a nice decadent risotto-like scrambled eggs. They're luscious, and I'm going to show you guys how you can do it. So again, your assembly is a fairly simple thing. You're just going to be using some 4 lovely pasture-raised eggs right there, and right next to that, we're going to be using about 2 tablespoons of butter, which you are going to cube up just to quicken the process of cooking these and help them melt a little bit more. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to serve mine with a little bit of my homemade crusty bread I have right here. I'm going to be turning that into toast, and of course some coffee, because coffee is a frickin' necessity to my life. Now, contrary to whipping your eggs up ahead of time and putting them in a hot pan, instead we're actually going to be starting your eggs off in a cold pan. So that way they're not going to get firm and rubbery or anything like that. They're going to be soft and decadent, which is what we're looking for. So again, you're going to take your eggs, just crack them inside a nice cold pan like so. And the reason you're not going to whip them ahead of time either too is because you're going to be constantly stirring this around as the pan slowly heats up. So that way, you're just going to get a softer, more delicate, soft, luxurious scrambled egg. So there we go. Our 4 eggs are in the pan now, and right in with that, we're going to add in those 2 tablespoons of cubed butter. Yes, I did get a little bit of my breadcrumbs from the toast that I sliced earlier on these, so in case you wonder what those are, that's that. So don't worry though, we're going to be serving this over toast anyway, so calm down, don't worry. Now, as far as your salt, you actually do not want to add your salt in right now, because if you put your salt in now, that salt is going to break down the eggs, it's going to make them very watery and gross, and they're not going to get that texture that you want it to, so always wait for the salt until the very end when these eggs are done. Yes, I mean it. But now to the cooking part. We're going to get our heat on over here. We're going to start that on about a medium-low flame or so, or like this, so to speak. You want to start it off on a kind of a low flame, so that way nothing's going to be cooking way too quickly. And we're going to take your pan, and we're going to start it on the heat right there, take our heat-resistant spatula, and we're going to be shaking it and constantly stirring around. Now, because we have this over a medium-low flame, that gives these eggs a chance to cook slowly and that butter to melt slowly as well, too, so everyone's going to be matching in unison. And you want to shake your pan and stir constantly, so that way you're going to form the most smallest, best types of small, luxurious curds that you want to see in your eggs. Because, again, this is a gentle form of cooking, but at the same time, you do want to be quick with this, too. And then we're going to go ahead here. After about a minute and a half, this is what they look like right here. They're slowly starting to melt together. They're slowly starting to cook. But at the same time, they're not at the point we want them yet. Because again, you're shaking and you're stirring constantly. You're slowly letting that butter and eggs cook and melt at the same time. And you just want to shake it, shake it, shake it, shake it, stir it, stir it, stir it, stir it. This is a little bit of a low and slow process, so this is going to be taking a little bit more time than your average scrambled eggs, but the end result really is totally worth it. I make these eggs a lot all the time, probably more than I should, but again, everyone knows me, I love eggs. So this has been about 2.5 minutes right here. And you can already start to see, you're going to start seeing some small curds starting to form right here. So you want to make sure that you're stirring around and getting all those so nothing's going to be overcooking. Now, when it looks like they're starting to form up just a little bit more and you're worried about it if it's going to get overcooked, the best thing that you can do, just take your pan off the heat. And when you do that, your pan is still very hot, but it's not going to get too hot because you took it off the flame, so that way it gives you kind of a chance to let your pan just cool down slightly, but you still want to keep moving your eggs around because you got to remember things are still going to cook when they're hot. So by doing that, you're still constantly stirring it around. Nothing's going to get overcooked. Nothing's going to get rubbery. Yes, it's okay if you're going to starting to see some big curds happening, but because you're going to keep stirring them around like so, they're going to calm down and they're going to get smaller soon. So then when you feel confident, you can put it back on your heat just a little bit, just to get I cannot talk right now. Get just a tiny little bit more heat on that to let those eggs finish off and continue cooking. And pretty soon, too, we're going to be taking it off again one more time because we still got just a little bit more heat on that. And you're going to give those a nice, good stir. You can start to see they're starting to get smaller now at this point, too, because you're not overcooking them, we're not undercooking them, we're getting them just perfectly. So now at this point too is the time that you can go ahead and turn your heat off in a moment because we got enough heat in the pan right there, and those eggs are going to be perfectly cooked when we put it back down. So again, just give it one last stir, stirring it around. Nothing's going to get overdone or underdone. You're going to have a nice, luxurious scrambled egg. So now our heat is off, and we can just go ahead and get that one last stir around. And then the idea too, some people like to add a lot of butter and cream at this point too, just to keep them soft and keep them from overcooking. But honestly, the best method that you can do, just take all of your eggs and you're going to move them all over to one corner of the pan. That way they're all together. None of them are going to get overdone or underdone. They're all going to be sitting there together. They're just going to keep each other nice and soft and creamy. And at this point too, we can go ahead and add our salt because we didn't add it ahead of time. Nothing's watery or rubbery or anything. They're actually perfect. And of course, I'm going to go ahead and add in a little bit of black pepper because I love lots of black pepper, as everybody knows by now. But you get the idea. You see how they're still soft and luxurious? Because again, we just moved them all to one corner of the pan. So go ahead, save your cholesterol. You don't need a whole lot of cream or fat inside of this. We already got enough from the butter right there. So just move it over to one pan. And these eggs are perfect and ready to go for your consumption. And I'm just going to go ahead. I'm going to take my little homemade toast that I made over here with my homemade crusty bread. Ugh, just look at that color. And you don't have to do this. I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to add a little bit of olive oil to my toast because I like olive oil on my toast. I just think it's a nice flavor, but you don't have to do that. And then, of course, over that bread, we're going to be adding in our luxuriously cooked scrambled eggs. Oh, just look at the texture. Look at that. It's nice, it's soft, it's silky, it's delicate, it's luxurious. And plus, it's really good, too, that I am having this with a little bit of bread, too, because you do want a little crunch of these, because these really are soft eggs. But in case you don't want bread, you don't have to eat the bread. I just like it with bread, because I love bread. Because bread is my life. But anyway. But you get the idea, though. Just take a look at those things. We're going to get a closer shot right here. Oh, yeah. Oh, my God. It's like butter dripping over pancakes. Except it's eggs and toast, which has nothing to do with pancakes. So there you go. That is how you cook a nice, silky sort of scrambled egg. Again, this is just one of hundreds of ways to do it. I could just eat this with a fork if I wanted to, but instead, I took the time to make that bread. I took the time to make some toast. Let's enjoy it all together. Ugh, just look at that thing right there. And you're going to take a bite. It's very fine, it's very luxurious, and it just makes me happy. And I really hope you guys really enjoyed this video. I hope you take the time to try this out yourselves too. And again, this is just one of hundreds of ways to cook eggs. Thank you guys for all watching this. Please leave any comments or questions below. I hope you all are well, and happy cooking.